All right, we have returned from the break. Bo, we were approaching the mine.
So you've just been shot at, and a voice from the entrance of the mine yells, "State your name and your business here."
Just turn around and look at Stanley.
My name is Stanley Billings, sir. I'm from Slave Town. We are here on official business. You would do well to not intervene with.
Throw your weapons on the ground and come forward with your hands up.
So we are here on principal business. We are not going to get rid of our weapons, and you will not heed us any further.
Please do as I say, or this ends badly for you.
What is your name?
Here whispering like, "This here mine belongs to the Oilbeards, and I'm Scrawly Oilbeard."
All right.
It's the Oilbeards. Good.
We are here, as I said, on business from the principal. We have the backing of the magistrate. We have their blessing on this, and it's to protect your business interests. So would you kindly stop threatening us?
If what you say is true, then I'm sorry for any offense, but we're under siege at the moment. Can you please follow my direction and put your weapons on the ground and step forward where I can see you better?
Under siege, would that happen to be a bunch of undead monstrosity types, weird magical business or some such?
No, we've had an uprising. The slaves are fighting back and we're trying to starve them out. Now, I have to be sure you are who you say you are, so come closer so I can get a better look at you.
I will step forward, but I'm not going to drop my weapon. I won't take it out, but I won't drop my weapon.
How many steps?
I mean, what would look like me stepping out to be seen?
Well, I mean, you are within vision because you're out on the road, but it's just to come closer.
Okay, I hands out to the side, non-threatening pose, take 2 or 3 steps forward slowly.
All right, that's good. Keep coming. Get your friends to come closer too.
Come on, guys.
All right.
This is...
All right, I'll step forward.
Hands in the air where I can see them. You guys approach closer, and he's like, "All right, that's good there. What's the name of that big bronze-looking lad you got with you?"
Vorel.
And that pretty lass with you, what's her name?
Hope.
And could the lad in the hood pull the hood back, please?
No, you don't want him to do that.
What's that?
You don't want him to do that.
Why not?
Not in any threatening way. He's just absolutely butt ugly.
You fit the description of some people that Denelia sent here. It was told me he was sending here. Are you the champions of the Rusty Cage?
That's funny. That sounds like exactly the story I was telling you. Yes.
All right, approach slowly.
All right, keep approaching.
All right, and you guys approach the entrance of the mine, and soon you're inside, and your eyes are trying to acclimatize themselves to the darkness. There's candles lit and torches lit, but you're in the bright sunlight. And you make out there's like a barricade, and there's a couple of dwarves with long rifles there, and behind them is this stout-looking dwarf with a fine black beard, and he's stroking it and looking at a piece of paper and looking up at you. So you're here to help us with the uprising, then?
Well, more or less, we weren't told about an uprising. We were sent after a very specific target.
All right, lads, put your guns away. Get back to watching the elevator. And the dwarves they put their guns up and they start making their way to the back. You're in this large cavernous area, and you see different piles of rocks and stone sort of organized in little sections off to the side. To the right, you see in the stone wall, there's a gated window type thing, like a desk area, and a door leading to it. And towards the back, there is a large hole with a giant chains running up and down in a mechanism, like a series of pulleys and levers that you can only imagine must be the elevator that he referred to in the back. Looks very large. Scattered throughout, you make out about a dozen dwarves in various positions of guarding the elevator. They look relaxed at the moment. And finally, the oddest thing in the room is you notice that there's near the elevator door, there's a post nailed into the ground, and there's a chain. And on the chain, there's this human on all fours with a big metal helmet on, with little slits where his eyes and nose can be, and just his mouth open. And the human goes, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And Scrolly looks back and says, "Quiet down now, dog, or I'll kick your arse."
I hate slavers.
Sorry about that. Tickles gets angry when he's hungry.
And what exactly is that? Some unfortunate slave who spoke up?
That's my dog, Tickles.
Well, that's a man, but...
You try telling him that. He's a dog through and through.
Was he a dog when you met him?
He's always been that way.
Really? That's
Anyway.
fascinating.
I'll lean over
So-
to Hope, and Stanley always gets a little confused when slavers. He made me wait 2 days to burn the last place.
Did you want to burn this place?
I want to burn this place.
There seem to be torches.
So listen up, laddies. We've got a bit of a problem here. We expected you like 4 days ago. What took you so long?
You have no knowledge of the massive sandstorm that just came through here.
I saw that sandstorm.
Well, then
What'd you do,
know
park
what
in it?
delayed us.
In a manner of speaking, we did park in it.
What'd you go and do that for?
It didn't look that bad.
It didn't look that bad, Lassie.
No.
It's a goddamn sandstorm.
It's just a storm.
You guys are supposed to be my help, and you parked in the damn sandstorm. I'm not very confident anymore.
I'm doing that like eyes upward, like family dinner kind of look, where you're just like trying to keep cool.
Well, what have you got for me? We got to get this uprising under control.
Well, what exactly is the situation at the moment?
Well, not a few days hence, someone stirred up the slaves, and they started killing people, and we weren't prepared for it.
We might park in a sandstorm, but at least we can speak.
They took control. They took control of most of the mines, so we blew in most of the passages up, and we shut down the elevator. There's no going in and out until we starve them out. We're gonna have to kill them all and get the replacements.
Now, is it only slaves that work this mine, or do you have people trapped below as well?
Well, we got taskers down there, but I'm sure they're all dead by now. It was bloody violent, I tell you. There's a dwarf alive. Well, they're in hiding.
Oh, so it's only dwarves that work this mine.
Dwarves that task the mine. The people who work are slaves. They're from all kinds of peoples.
Yeah, you wouldn't enslave your own people, would you?
We got dwarf slaves too.
That's very equal of you.
We need to get to the 999th floor. What is the quickest and easiest way to do that?
There's only one way down, and that's the elevator. But as I said, I shut it down. If we turn that thing back on, a whole bunch of slaves are going to come up here and have their way with us.
How many slaves are you thinking?
To fit on the elevator. 100, 200?
And how many men do you have up here right now?
I got about 12. Now, one dwarf is as good as 5, but still, I don't like those odds. There'll be casualties for sure.
You don't have any men down there managing this?
They're down there, but we haven't heard from them. They're presumed dead.
By which mechanism did 12 men keep hold of 200?
By the elevator. It's the only way right now, up or down. We shut down the elevator, and they can't come up.
So
We're waiting for them to starve.
I mean,
they were locked
these
in the
are-
mine and simply did your bidding out of boredom?
We had it under control prior to this. Something came and, I don't know, gave them strength, maybe. Now, you're here for that Thailander bloke, eh? Maybe it was him.
I am.
He's a known rabble-rouser.
Do you know where he is?
We haven't seen hide or hair of him. But apparently he was headed this way. We've been on the lookout for him, but we didn't see him.
These people are miners. You don't think there's a way they're going to find up?
We exploded in all the passages up. We've got guards on them. They won't find their way up.
You seem relatively...
I'm a miner too. I know my business, huh? If I say they can't come up, they're not coming up.
And what exactly did you think the 5 of us were going to do against 100 angry slaves?
That wasn't my decision. Etenelia said you guys are resourceful. Resourceful. So what can you do for me? You're here now. How do we fix this?
I lean over to Stanley and go, his accent keeps changing. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't trust this guy.
It's fine, Nash. Thank you.
I mean, I'm just saying. It's fine.
Well, I don't know exactly what we're going to be able to do. If the situation is as you said, 100 people come up on the elevator if you drop it down.
I mean, can you take 100 people? I heard you took 4 Kuromukishi initiates in the rusty cage. Perhaps you can do something here.
Well, we would certainly be calling on your assistance. Would you be offering it?
Well, yes. I don't expect you to fight on your own. Of course, my lads would help, but not if there's no chance of winning. What have you got for me? Can you make them explode?
I think we can arrange something. We're going to need a bit of time to strategize.
Stanley's starting to agree to things again when we got into town. Shouldn't we just go straight to the floor?
Let
and
him
do the...
agree. I don't think he's actually agreeing.
But last time he got into town and did all the talking when we got there.
No, I think I'm onto it. We let the people up and then we turn on the dwarves.
But then that's... But how do we... Oh...
Well, for the time being, why don't you get your men ready? Make sure you have all the munitions you need. We will go ahead and see what we have. I know we have a couple of explosives, which should help turn the tide of battle. Do you have anything up here we can make use
now,
of?
whoa there, laddie.
weapon-wise?
Don't use no explosives on the elevator. We can't risk blowing it up.
No, but there's a natural bottleneck at the entrance to this mine. We could easily set something in place there. They've only got one place they want to go once they get up here.
I think we gotta fight them in here, no? We can't give them the whole mine. It'll be harder to break back in if we fight from outside. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm saying there's one direction into this mine. They don't want to stay here. If they get this upper floor, what do they gain?
Their freedom.
Not until they go out the exit.
So let me understand this, boy. You want us to turn the elevator on and then go outside.
We set up a perimeter at the entrance. As they make their way out, they have to be funneled. Instead of fighting 100 people all at once, we're fighting a few at a time as they come through.
Okay. So we make a barricade near the entrance.
Sure.
Well, explain it to me. I'm not quite understanding, but this is good.
I'm glad you're on board with the plan. Your men set up a perimeter. Guns and everything. We'll be right there alongside you. We let the slaves up. They come through. We start opening fire as they start to come through. We fight them on the way out. Hopefully, seeing all the violence and attacking scares most of them off. If they get away, they're no better off. They're going to die in the desert, or they make their way back to Slave Town and get caught again.
Or we could capture them, and we'll lose less slaves this way.
Sure.
Good idea, laddie.
That sounds
Love it.
great.
All right.
All right.
What do you need me to do?
I need you to go tell your people about the plan. I'm going to tell my people about the plan. We meet back up on the outside. You pick whoever you want to be the person to go operate the elevator. We prepare.
All right. We'll meet back here 30 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. Laddies, come over here. We got a plan. And then he rushes off and he starts yelling. And then he walks up to Tickles and takes Tickles off the spike and now has him on his chain leash as he starts gathering up his dwarven comrades. And they form a circle near one of the piles of rock.
All right. I call my allies over. There's no way we are going to defeat 100 people, but I think we stand a pretty good chance of beating 12, especially with 100 people helping us. You all on board on taking out these slavers?
100%.
You all want to fight? I'm in.
Let's do it.
This contraption that we've been talking about for moving slaves currently is that ropes over there, chains and whatnot, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Why not climb the chains?
Climb down?
Yes, and be in a sea of allies, apparently.
Well, I don't know if they would see us as such once we landed. We would be people from the surface making our way down. I don't know if they would think of us as any better than the slavers.
There seems to be a certain look to the slavers here.
You
Have
think
that
with
advantage.
them being all dwarves?
Might I make a certain addendum to the plan?
Sure.
These risen folk from below are to be fodder in your plan for some period of time?
I mean, ideally, we take out as many of the dwarves as we can. I don't want them to just be killed, but it's going to happen.
These plans have... From our experience in the previous town, I am fearful of the crosses, the double crosses that we have tried to impose. Perhaps I turn around right now and have at these soldiers.
Well, then it would be 4 against 12, and I'm not 100% sure we would be able to win that fight.
We'll note that you observe, Aurel, that there, the battalion of dwarves are all circled up in one space currently.
We do have a Nash. I could throw him
What?
into the circle.
Yeah. And?
He means for a mega thunderwave.
What do you...
I'm pretty sure. I'm just so excited by the idea. I'm going to jump in here and say, he wants to throw you, so you cast your thunderwave.
So wait, he means throw throw me
I would
in.
dunk you into the circle of dwarves.
Okay. Oh, I see.
How close are they to a pit or anything like that?
Well, they're not close to a pit. They're close to a pile of rocks, but they're bunched up right now in like a huddle circle. You know, like in your local office before the business day begins, everyone's grouped up and having a little powwow.
How much armor do they have on?
Oh yeah, what's the weapon situation?
They all appear to be armed with rifles, and they have swords hilted to their side. Various makes.
I have 5 sticks of dynamite, but I don't think it's going to be enough to necessarily take them all out at once.
I'll try anything.
I don't know. Would you rather fight with the people or fight them now?
I do not like abusing their weakness for our own gain, but I see the soundness in your strategy.
Hey, Varel, have you ever heard that you have to crack a few eggs to make an omelet?
What's an omelet?
It's a delicious food made from the young of other creatures.
No.
Sacrifices sometimes have to be made.
I see. I understand. I am just eager from our previous engagement, and I wonder when the giant will arrive to complicate this situation if we wait longer.
Well, I mean, he's most likely going to go back to the town, and
I meant a new giant, the giant
Oh.
of interruption, which
A
causes our previous
hypothetical
plans.
giant.
How will, who will stand a mate tonight?
hopefully no one. So far, options limited right now. Let's do this. We see how many we can get clumped together near the entrance. Maybe we open with the dynamite. Seems like a good way to hurt a lot of people all at once. Then we turn on the people that are left near us, and hopefully that convinces the onrush of slaves that we're on their side.
There is these dwarves believe us to be heroes here to free the mine. Yes, we could simply head down without ever combating these fools. Then surely there is some sort of alert to summon the Vader, and we ride it back up, victorious, with slaves at our back who already agree with us that we are good. Or do you fear climbing the chain? Is this what this is about? Are you all fearful of climbing a
Varel,
chain?
there are 999 levels.
And
to
I
this
have
mine. I don't
equally
think-
as many muscles.
If you do, then feel free to start climbing. But remember, the dwarf said as soon as they unlock the elevator, that's when the slaves come. So there's some sort of mechanism going on there. They can't just lower us down.
I see. This is all.
I mean, we could tell them we're going for a diplomatic attempt. I'm sure they would rather more slaves live than die, but
I believe.
That's a good point.
I believe in. Yeah, I
They
understand.
cost a lot of money. We know that.
I understand. Next time we do a plan, I say we kill everyone while entering, and then deal with the plan afterwards.
So, what he's saying is it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
well, we have certainly learned a lot of that from you.
Well, I'm into it. I'm on Varel's side with this one. We should have just come in here, wiped out these little turds who act like they're going to be our friends and allies here. I'm not so sure about any of that. And then we'd be done. Then it'd be on us to get down there and take
That's
care of it
why we're
ourselves.
turning on them, but there are 12 of them with guns and swords and only 4 of us.
And one gun.
One gun,
There was
but
only
we've got
one
magic
outside.
and one lizard folk, and we have one of great things as well. I don't see a downside.
I mean, you did take on 8 of the Lactic Cartel, and one of your team members didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I drank.
Excuse me, one of your team members drank through it all.
We even have cover here. I can hide behind that pile of shit. Stanley could be over there, hiding over there. We could have cover. We could have all the things we normally have, and we'd be able to fight. I'm not saying we do this now. I think maybe it's too late for that. But take names and ask questions later. That's my motto.
So you believe we should just get them right now?
I believe for our next encountering of plan making, we should have a just get 'em vote then. But we are already in momentum for this plan, and we shall see it through.
It's hard to dupe people when you're talking to them and you say, hold on, we have to take a just get 'em vote.
Then we need hand gestures, like a fist with a pinky up could mean kill them all, and 2 fingers can mean leave them all victoriously alive.
Vorel, how about the next time you want me to just attack somebody, say, I'm hungry?
But I say that often. I am hungry. I'm hungry right now. I wouldn't want to confuse you.
Hey, Varel, here's how you tell Stanley to shut up. You take the middle finger and you hold it like that.
Oh! Yes, this will be our symbol for silence.
Got it.
I'm prepared.
And I go, like that again.
They might misinterpret that symbol. All right, well, it sounds like we have a plan for dealing with these people.
Do we? It sounds like no one is into your plan.
I like the diplomacy plan, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay, Hope's on diplomacy. Nash is on kill 'em all right now. Varel, where do you stand?
Yeah, here. While the
On
elevator
plan,
goes up.
what would you like to do right now, Varel?
I want to climb the chain.
Okay, that's 2 for diploma. We'll go with that.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
I'm ready.
They are going to misunderstand that, Varel. They are going to misunderstand that gesture.
I wish to be quiet. I am done.
That means something different than you're thinking.
Nash taught me.
Don't learn anything from Nash.
Do it with both hands, Varel. Like this.
Oh.
That shows you're extra committed. Ha! I say. Says Nash Madguard of Solar Mines.
Mash guard.
Mash. All right, so I think we're going with the diplomatic attempt then.
Okay. So that involved climbing down the chain?
It does. So
are you going to be doing this just doing it, or are you trying to sneak your way there? I mean, what's the plan?
I guess we go in and tell them. We're going to try it this way.
Okay.
So I'm going to go in and find what's his name.
All right. You approach the circle, and the dwarves are talking with each other, making plans about where to set up different barricades. And you interrupt it. They all sort of look at you, and
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Scrolly looks at you and says, "How can I help you, laddie?"
Well, we had a thought. It seems like we are about to brutally murder a lot of slaves. And while that normally isn't the kind of thing that's going to upset or bother me, that is a rather large cost that maybe you don't have to eat necessarily.
Well, it would be good to save on funds. We're always looking for a deal, so
My
have an
friends
idea in
and
this
I, you might have noticed, are not dwarves. We think we may be able to negotiate with them in a way that you were not able to.
negotiation.
That's right.
What would that involve?
Well, we're going to go down there and see if we can get them to give up peacefully.
You do realize they're slaves. And it takes a long time to break in a slave.
Well, they've already been broken. We're going to just remind them of such.
I mean, the only negotiation they knew would be the edge of a stick. What are you going to offer them?
I'll pull out my machete and hold it up. And then I'll sheath it.
Right now, they are inspired by the man Thailander, we suspect. That's why we were sent here. I think that if we can take care of this Thailander, we can straighten everything out.
So you're going to infiltrate them and
That's
take
right.
a Thailander. You sure you can do this? You don't look like the cutthroat types,
Well,
especially this big one, this big bronze one.
I'm half demon. I'd like to think I've done some things in the past.
So what do we do?
well, you continue with the plan. You hold up here. You wait for them to starve out. If we don't ever come back, you just continue with the plan you had. You're no worse off, and
Persuasion roll, please.
that is a. Where's my persuasion? It's a 26.
Sorry. That was an involuntary. The big number.
Oh,
All right, I
I'm
guess
sorry,
that is.
25.
Oh, no,
Very
I
important.
take it back.
It's all gone.
No one's impressed.
I guess I got nothing to lose in this scenario. So go on ahead, but I can't turn on the elevator. You'll have to climb down. You got gear for that.
Yeah, we have us.
All right, we'll continue on with the plan. Best of luck to you. Do you need any torches? Any equipment we can offer you?
How long does the rope go down?
That chain, the chain's there. They go all the way to the bottom.
So 999 floors?
It's a long, sturdy chain. I engineered it myself.
I've seen bigger.
Have you, lad? Good for you, eh?
is there no other way down?
It's the only way down.
Well, then
Where's the Vader now?
The what? The Vader.
the Vader.
The elevator.
Somewhere 20 or 30 floors down.
The Dark Vader.
Then perhaps.
They tried to come up, but we had to shut it down. We put a stop in it. There is a mechanism on it that you can use to move it up and down. We had to put a wedge in the pulley to stop it from moving.
Do you
What
have
if
a
I
torch?
descended the chain, cleared out the lift, and then we brought it up?
That's fine. You could do that. But we'd have to secure it from up here. We'd have to take the wedge out from up here, is what I'm saying.
We don't even have to climb the chain. I can assist us down, no problem.
That means if you go down, I can't know if you need it back on, if everything's clear. You'll have to climb back up.
That part I can't assist with.
Is there lighting down there at all? I mean, there has to
Sure,
be
there's
something.
torches down there.
Well, I mean, if there are slaves, they have to be put to work doing something. One would think they'd have to see.
Mm-hmm.
So-
I'm sure there's torches down there.
There's no way to control the
Lanterns.
elevator from below.
Only on the elevator. Like I said, it works, but we've got a wedge up here to prevent it from moving. So if you go down, you gotta come back up the same way.
I bet we could find an alternative once we got down there.
We can figure out a way. I mean, I have a method of amplifying my voice. If we called up that it was all clear, you could theoretically remove the wedge, correct?
If it's loud enough, maybe we'll hear it. Is that
Keep
that
an
thing
ear
you
out.
got on your waist there? That's a megaphone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah. Can I take a look at it?
No.
It's an interesting device. I want to look at it, laddie.
I understand, and
see.
it means quite a lot to me, and that's why you cannot.
I just wanted to admire its craftsmanship.
Well, admire it from where you are, friend. If we get out of this, okay, I'll let you hold it.
All right. Well, if it's as loud as you say, I'll be able to hear you once you're ready to come up.
Oh, it's
Sounds
loud.
good.
It's loud, all right.
All right,
Well-
then. Do you need anything? Supplies before you go down?
We
Maybe a
should
bigger stick than that thing you got there.
we should take a torch or two, at the very least. We need it. In case the lighting situation's a little rough.
All right, Gruely, give him some torches. And the dwarf heads off to go collect some torches. He brings them back to you. He's got a little crate. 12 of them in there. Take as many as you need. You need any rope?
Actually, I do think we could use some rope.
Okay, Gruely, get some rope. All of you need rope.
I got
Yes.
some.
I could use some rope.
I'll take some
Alright.
rope and put it over diagonally.
Right, he gives each of you some 100-foot rope, actually. Very, very long, sturdy dwarven rope.
Whoa. That's still not enough, though, with the math I'm doing in my head.
It's 999 floors. It is miles down.
How big is a floor? We don't know that distance?
Somewhere in the environs of 10 to 20 feet per floor.
Okay. So I'm just going to do some fast math here.
Right now, we're only going down about 20, though. That's where the position of the elevator is.
Right. 999 floors times 20 feet.
Could you hand me a rock or something? Something I can drop down the hole briefly.
You want me to get you a rock? Help yourself. There's
Alright.
rocks everywhere here. Grab a rock.
Grab
Alright.
one. I'm going to listen very carefully and drop it in the hole to see if I can hear when it hits and about how long it takes for it to hit.
Perception check, please.
While he's perceiving this, 20,000 feet below the surface of this earth. We should know that. I'm fine.
22.
We can go. I'm just saying, 20,000 feet below.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
All right, you drop the you drop the rock down, and it's a dark black hole. You can't really see anything down there past a certain point, even with your dark vision. And you see the rock tumble away. You don't hear anything in response.
All right, well, who's for jumping in a big old hole?
Climbing?
You can climb, but I got a quicker way.
Does it last long enough?
That's what I was hoping to listen for. It lasts for a minute. That's a long time to be falling. We won't cast it right away.
Do you know what the miles per hour is on the float?
Choose up to 5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends.
60 feet per round. And so, all right. And Nash, you've done some math there. So 20 floors.
If it's 20 feet for 20... Oh, is it only 20 floors?
Well, roughly 20 floors is what they've informed you of where the elevator should be resting at this juncture.
Okay, so 20... That's actually different. 20 times about 20 feet per floor. That's 400 feet.
Okay, so 400 feet. It's 60 feet per minute, you said?
It's 60 feet per round until the spell
All right,
ends.
so let's say that's 5 seconds. So 60. So that would mean, oh my god. All right.
It's three
60
floors
divided
per...
by 5 means about 12 rounds in a minute. So
It's 3 floors
12
per...
times 60 will get you about 720 feet down
Yeah.
before it elapses. Now you could also, I don't know what's required of this. You could jump in and cast it on the way down.
That's what I was thinking of doing.
That's also an option. Yeah. Unless there's any sort of restriction on can't cast while falling or something weird.
Oh no, it's designed for while stuff's falling. So.
Okay. Excuse me.
He's done the research.
He knows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could try to climb and use it as a backup measure, but I can cast it on all of us at the same time if we're all within range of each other. If we risk it and someone falls, it's going to exhaust me pretty quick saving everybody piece by piece.
Then let us leap hand in hand.
Make sure, the one thing I will say, if you're leaping before casting it, it does have a material component which you can use your megaphone for.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have it securely stowed on the way down. If it happens to fly off your body on the way down, you'll be fucked. To put it bluntly, in the old tongue.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me.
Gonna hold it above my head like Mary Poppins' umbrella as we gently float to the ground.
Okay, is this the plan? You guys make everyone on board with the jump?
Yeah.
Now they said the slaves were on the 999, the bottom floor.
No, that's where
okay.
So Captain Speckles owns the 999th floor,
Cool.
But-
Just wanted to verify.
according to Athenalia, and you're going to investigate the bottom of this mine.
Cool.
There's
Holding
probably
hands or not holding hands?
we should
No,
we should hold hands. Don't you
Oh,
think?
holy hand.
Yeah.
Hands are out.
Yeah.
I'm on the far end so that I can have one hand free for the megaphone for the casting of said spell.
Okay. So you guys peer over the edge. You see nothing but blackness and just the silence. You take one look, and then you look at one another. And are you jumping?
3,
Everyone's
2, 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Are we going on one or go? Nash says.
Go!
Not that go. Like
Everybody jumps
Wait,
in, pull
are we
Nash
all-
with you.
Are we all woeing together like a family comedy movie?
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay, then on
absolutely.
1, 2, 3, go, and then whoa.
it's like one of those where Steve Martin's the dad? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're all in the car in the sedan, and we end up in a river, and somehow it's going towards the waterfall. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Making sure I'd know.
All right. 1, 2,
2.
3. Whoa!
Whoa!
You all take a running start at the hole and just dive off hand in hand and start. Everyone's hair is like rushing, except I guess Nash, you don't really have any hair, and Varel, you don't either. But Stanley and Hope's hair is going wild, and the cool breeze begins rushing past you, and you see Stone, and the velocity is just shaking everything. Your clothes are just rippling as you free fall, and you begin to see like on the sides various entrances, holes, and everything's swooshing past you really quickly. Stanley, let's make a perception check, please.
Roll good, tiny dice. Okay, that's good. That's a 23.
Okay, and you begin to make out the form of what looks like a solid piece of rectangular metal, and it's rushing at you super quickly.
I activate the spell.
All right, and just in time as you see it, you cast Featherfall on everyone. Make sure to expend your spell slot. Do you have any words or anything you're screaming as your wind rushes against your face?
I just
It's just like a sense of muscle memory. Everyone sort of comfortably, as if falling into a bed of feathers, start to float face down, prone, and spin circly, and the momentum slows up, and it's dark and it's black, and you see little cavernous entranceways pockmarked throughout the sides. There's no light, there are no people to be seen, and for a few moments you glide peacefully down. Are you still going whoa, or are you quiet? Is everyone quiet? Sound quiet.
No,
Quiet
I'm
yeah.
babbling. I'm just saying, oh, I forgot it worked. Thank you, Stanley. This was most enjoyable. The trust that I now feel between us fills my heart and just running on adrenaline.
Okay, so Borel's like talking like 50 miles a minute, and you guys slowly, gently float down until you land safely on top of a large metal surface, and it has like a gate on all the sides and little openings where you can open up the gate to release things. It's large enough to carry a giant vehicle. This thing, it's a super large elevator, probably because vehicles will come down here, load up on materials, and be sent back up to the surface. And there's no vehicle on it currently. But one thing you do notice is there's no lights, and there are no living people. There is a corpse on the elevator.
All right.
And so you land down and you take stock of your surroundings. Only really Hopen and Stanley can see. The rest of you are bathed in pitch blackness of the mine currently. So Stanley and Hope, you do see a face down corpse of a very thin humanoid. Looks somewhat rotted.
I'm gonna go over and check and see if I can see the cause of death.
Okay. So you approach the corpse, and you turn it face up. There's nothing evident from just a cursory visible scan of its back. You don't see a cause of death.
Well, considering we've been dealing with undead fellows who come back to life, I'm going to grab my dagger and be ready in case it moves. But yes, I will turn it over.
Okay. You flip the corpse over, and it flips over, and you see an axe buried into its chest, and the corpse's head sort of flops back a little bit. But then you hear a expel from its lungs, and its hand begins to twitch a little bit, and its head begins to shake a little bit.
Does it have its fingers and toes?
You do an examination for its fingers and toes, and you do see fingers and toes.
I don't know if this is dead, undead, or alive still.
And it brings its own head up.
Oh, it's a zombie. Yeah. Dagger to the head.
Undead.
And it reaches out towards you, and you attacking it?
Yes, dagger to the head.
Roll an attack roll, please.
Natural 20.
Okay, and you bring your... You want to describe how you slaughter this thing? You do it.
You know, the zombie way. You just dagger right to the temple. Just
okay. Roll your damage dice.
Zombie way.
It's the zombie way.
Yeah,
it was a good Adam Sandler film.
Yeah, the zombie way.
Is it double dice for the crit?
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's not good. It's still not good. It's 6 damage.
Okay. You bring your knife into its temple, and you see it pop out the other side, and it... and it grows limp and heavy as you hold it up with your dagger. And you just have it skewered now, and it doesn't show any more signs of life.
Pull the dagger out. Prestidigitate it.
Black, bloody liquid sort of seeps out and goes... and squirts out from the side. You prestidigitate your dagger, and it's clean again.
We got zombies.
We do?
I'll have Varel's hand in one hand, Nash in the other, and I'll kind of lead him to where you are, Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley and Nash and Varel can't see anything.
Yeah,
you just hear a shoot in the darkness, and you don't see anything.
Zombies. Boba Fett. Zombies. We don't need more of those. This is bad.
Are we on a floor where are we on top of a structure, or are there like entrances to where we are around us?
You see around you there are little entranceways that go these small, like circular paths. They don't look very tall. They're maybe about 6 feet. Some of you are gonna have to crouch to move through them, and they're very not distinct. They look like, cavernous holes in rock. There is one, you do see a label saying 23 sort of nailed into the rock side. It's like painted very crudely into a piece of pressed board where it says 23 next to it. You see a pickaxe or two lying on the ground. Nothing of note apart from that.
If I listen, do I hear voices moving around, any noise whatsoever, as if there's people around me, or movement?
Okay, let's do a, I guess, perception, if you wish.
17.
You hear the creaking of the elevator as you stand on it. It's like, you don't hear people.
Well, if you want to get your torches out, I feel like we could light them up. Might draw attention, but it seems awfully quiet right now.
I don't get it.
I'm holding hands.
I thought there'd be people everywhere. I don't understand this. We're walking into a mess. I don't trust those dwarves.
Me neither. But light is important.
I'll let go of you, Varel.
I require a torch, and I will hold it aloft.
Were you guys holding hands for realsies?
No.
No.
That's so adorable.
No, me too. Oh, you mean in like their
Like,
little
no, in
space?
real life, because they're sitting next to you.
I love that.
It looked like you were moving your hand to like light a torch. I was like, oh.
Aw,
Keep torches in the back. I mean, it's great.
that would have been adorable.
Press to digitate the torches.
Okay. So you illuminate the area. You see rock, jagged rock surface all around you. There's the corpse of the dead human, the dead slave on the ground, thin with the axe embedded, and now the knife hole in his temple.
Ooh, I'll take the axe. Oh. I'm guessing it's in him, so I'll kind of have to, hammer and nail it out of him with a little rocket.
It gives pretty easy, actually, as the flesh in his chest disintegrates into a bloody mess, and you just take it as a big stringy piece of black blood, separating it.
Oh, I didn't think about it, but armies of the dead made from weaklings. This could be all right. Rather than the well-fed people in Slave Town.
Well, that's true. This one wasn't exactly all that impressive, but I did get the drop on him. I don't know. How would you like to proceed? We could call up and say that the elevator's clear. We could theoretically come down with the dwarves. We could wait to see if there's an army to rally, but could be that there's just 100+ dead slaves down here for us to fight.
Well, we have a bottleneck. If they were to come at us, if they're all as weak as this fellow, shouldn't be a problem. But this is the level where they stopped the elevator because it was full of slaves. So if we wish to talk, we are at the correct spot for it. Otherwise, we complete our mission, call up, and head to the 99th floor.
Hey, DM, what does it smell like here?
It smells musty. It smells of rock and sulfur, for the most part.
But not decaying bodies?
Yeah, apart from the stench, if you get close to the corpse on the ground, no, it smells like acrid.
Okay. I can deal with acrid. I don't know. Stanley, you decide. I'm not in charge of this jackwagon.
Well, who said I was?
Nash
I'm not
Maggard.
eager to fight. I'm not eager to fight a bunch of zombies, but could be that they're not going to be all that difficult to deal with. If we do bring down the elevator, we could get to the 999th floor right away, face whatever's down there, come back up. If we decide to fight the dwarves, it'd still be 4 against 12, but what are you going to do? The other option is we take it to the top, we get the dwarves to come down with us, we have dwarven shields against anything we run in down here. We proceed with them, and we just make sure they don't make it out of the mine.
Do we wish to ally with the wizard?
He probably is the one that turned everyone into zombies.
But he also wishes to destroy Slave Town.
By turning the slaves into zombies? Killing all of them?
Well, I didn't know the 1, 2 on the wall, nor the guy on the table. I don't know.
His methods are pretty extreme, and certainly counterintuitive. I would argue he's more in line with the demon than an actual goal of freeing slaves. If he wanted to free slaves, these people would still be alive.
Yes, he seems rather more bent on vengeance for some sort of wrongdoing against him. But we could have a undead orc army to descend upon Slave Town with.
I thought I was crazy. Look, we may need those dwarves. So if we bring them down here with us, at least we face whatever's down here not alone. And if after that's done, we decide we don't need them anymore, we kill them where they stand.
Excellent. Then a good show of faith would be summon the elevator now. Face the dwarves, tell them we have recovered their precious device, and proceed from there.
Well, should we shout up? Have them pull us up? Maybe we can come down with, I don't know, a bunch of them? I don't know.
At the very least, we've made a good show of faith to the dwarves that we are here to recover their mine.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take out the megaphone and shout up. You can pull up the elevator. It's all clear.
All right, can you roll a it's not gonna be persuasion. There should be some kind of skill check on performance. Let's call it a performance.
Oh, I like that. I don't love that, but it might be okay. 14.
Okay, so you shout on up that everything's clear and that the elevator can be brought up, and you sort of you don't hear anything for a few minutes, and then you feel the elevator shake underneath you as it lodges loose and it drops about 3 feet, and everyone sort of has to grab themselves and just like get their bearing. But no worry for damage. It doesn't fall that much, but there's a big lurch and everything seems to fall from underneath you for a quick second. You then sort of hear the mechanism start to crank, 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 and it begins slowly, ever so slowly, start pulling itself up. Now you also begin to hear as like tons of screams from the sound echoing through a lot of the passageways leading out to the elevator shaft. And as the elevator slowly creaks up, this undead form on the next floor, the 22nd, makes its way towards you, and you're all captivated by this. And behind you, a big thud, boom, hits the metal as something from a floor higher up has awoken and fallen onto the elevator. And you turn around, and there's the living dead behind you, and more corpses begin to fall off from higher floors. And that will end it.
Holy
No, the elevator fight.
the
elevator fight.
Oh, elevator action. That's what this
Maybe
is.
Donatello?
Oh man.
Elevator action, baby.
It's like
Great
the
ending.
universal law of video gaming. If you get on an elevator and it has to move, enemies will jump on the elevator with you. It's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay. Well, there it is. I can't believe we have to we have to wait and find out how this turns out. But that's what we're gonna do next week. A brand new episode of the show, normal time, Saturday, 3 p.m. Mountain. That's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Be here and find out the fate of us now, because things look a little rough. I don't know how this is gonna go. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Therewillbedungeons.com is the place to head out right now and get all the other stuff you might need for the show. And what else? There Be Dungeons on Twitter. And there's our wiki now that you can find over on the site, therewillbedungeons.com. You can contact us there. Send us your emails. Let us know what's on your mind. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Kyle, for Kristen, for John, and for Bo. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Well done!